Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the cabin. Yeah, I'm still down here whittling on these posts and beams, but I've just about got everything set to put up. I am going to have to burn these, and then I am going to have to put the timber frame oil on there, but it won't be long and I'll have this whole wall section ready to go. Alright, so what my plan is, over there is where I'm working currently. That is going to be a place that I can actually back the tractor into and park it and keep it out of the weather, which is 16 feet wide and 18 feet deep. Now the next section is going to be 12 feet and it's going to be 18 feet in depth, and that's going to be a wood shop where I'll build some benches and shelves and bring a lot of my equipment down here. And then there will be another wall with a doorway through going into the sawmill, which is going to be the rest of this, which I think is about, well, I added an extra 4 feet. So this right here I think is going to be around 30 feet, which is going to be the sawmill, and it will be 18 feet deep. And the way that I've got it drawn together is I can build some shelving, and I'll just use stickers, and I can actually stack lumber in there, and or I can stand it up straight, depending on how I want to build those. But that's kind of the idea for the area down here. It will be the sawmill because that's the easiest access to the road that I've got up there. I can come almost straight in, the wood shop, and then down there is where I'm going to park the tractor because I can take straight off and go up and go around what is the sawmill currently. Hey everyone, it's time for another giveaway. I did want to say that for the month of September, the 2 draw knives that we're going to give away, D-Gin FLA, I guess that's short for Florida. You are the winner for the review channel for one of the draw knives, and Dave Wamper, you are the winner for the Outpost channel for the other draw knife. Now for the month of October, we've decided to give away something that I use constantly, and that is a set of chisels. Of course, the ones that we're going to get come in a nice wooden box, but this is actually a 1/4, a 1/2, a 3/4, and a 1-inch chisel. Now I use these constantly on everything that I'm doing. Currently, you know, that timber framing, it requires a lot of chiseling and sawing and things of that nature. But let me bring these up. So this is what it looks like. They're really nice too. Nice wooden handle. And here's the 1/4 inch right here. And actually, coming from the factory, they're pretty doggone sharp. So be careful when you get those. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back to the video. You know, I've really been spending probably the last 5 weeks working on this stone. Maybe the last 4 weeks, because we've had quite a bit of days of sunshine, but then we've had a lot of rain too. But every time we had sunshine, I would come out, I would mix up 2 bags of mortar and lay that, let it set up, dress it up. The next day I would come out and do the same thing because it was set up. But I've got this side done. We've got the back side done. Now you got to remember the front was already done because we had to build the porch on, so it had to be done before the porch. And we now have this side done, so the whole cabin is now complete. We can officially say that it has a Western Carolina rock knee wall foundation to it. Now, the Carolina rock, my son and I went over about this time last year and we picked it up, and we got 2 huge crates, which were basically a ton apiece. Okay, so that's 4,000 pounds of this gray stone. Then we got 1 basket of the brownstone, which what I did the fireplace with in there, but I chose to put the gray stone on the outside. And all I've got left, that's pretty much all that's left over. So it was a really good guess as to how much it would lay. Of course, I kind of had an idea when I asked them how many square feet one of the baskets would lay, but you know, it depends on if the rocks are going to fit together, and there could be less in some and more in the others. But it was 80 bags of mortar mix, which was, I think, like $7 a bag or something like that. And then the stone, which wasn't really bad at all, much better price over in North Carolina than it was in Tennessee, but they were $150 for a ton. So when I bought those 3, I actually hauled them back on the trailer. That was 6,000 pounds that we hauled back from western North Carolina up here on top of the mountain. And I'll tell you what, that Silverado did a fantastic job. Didn't even hardly notice that anything was behind it. But anyway, yeah, we got all the rock laid, and I'm certainly glad and so proud to have this job done, because that's not one of my favorite jobs, but I always wanted to do that at least one time. So now that I can say that I've done it, and I've said this many times, it may not look really well, but it does stick, and it is there, and it is not coming off. So I'm really glad to have the cabin done, and I think that it adds a whole lot, especially when I get that clear coat put on there, or that concrete sealer. It's going to make that look wet. It's going to look a whole lot better, which I'll probably do that probably next week. But anyway, yeah, we can officially say that the cabin is rocking. Well, folks, I thought I would stop and take a little bit and answer some questions, although there hasn't been that many that are basically outside the box. I had some comments on building that timber frame down there and the rock that I was doing, and then about the smoker. I had one guy commented, did he miss the smoker in operation? Well, no, it's not finished yet, but it's probably about 5 or 6 weeks away. I did contact somebody, so I do have a butcher lined up who's going to do the bulk of the work, because I just really don't have the time to do that. And trying to get this cabin and everything sewed up before cold weather gets here. So I am going to kill it, and then we will hook it up to the tractor, put it in the truck, and then take it over there. It's not that far away. But he's going to process it into some ham, bacon, pork chops, and sausage. So let's see what we've got here. Some guy says that I'm glad that I ran across your channel. I'm also headed down this road soon, a 50-year-old man wanting to buy some land and build my own home. I've been able to contact the bearded carpenter, and we have become friends, so that's cool. I want to dive into your channel hoping to learn more about building. I'm a nurse by trade. Building my own home is on my bucket list. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a big thing, a big project, but you can certainly do it. There was a lot of things that I had to YouTube that I wasn't really sure about, but YouTube is a platform that you can go to and learn just about anything that you want to do. So there's really no excuse for not knowing how to do something when you have YouTube, right? That's what I tell everybody, because that's where I get my information. But yeah, so be sure and plan it out and try to think ahead, about the seasons and what you might run into as far as getting it sewed up so that it can be as weatherproof as possible. Someone said the rock looks good from a distance on the video. You're doing good with all the work you do around the house. Well, it looks good up close too, to be honest with you. It doesn't really look bad at all. Then someone commented that the foot ad, I guess this was on another video, looked really good. Great videos and great job. I believe it was last week we put one out on me redoing that hoe handle. Just simple things like that can save you a whole lot of money, and it's really fun to do as well. The rock trim and siding on the cabin is awesome. I know it's hard to do, especially when it's so hot, but it really does look nice, as does everything you built and made. Well, thank you so much. I certainly do appreciate that, and most of the comments that we get are so nice. I watch both channels. Guess I like you and the family. Howdy, Jennifer. Then someone commented and says, I was realizing how much thinner you are. Went back a couple of years to season 2, episode 1. Big difference. Then it says, pun intended. Yeah, I lost 40 pounds since I left EMS, and I have never felt better. This is my regular body weight right here. And I'm basically glad that I saved my clothes, because I would have had to got a new wardrobe. I've actually picked up some pairs of pants because I wear them out pretty quick up here. But yeah, I've lost a lot of weight, but I'm feeling good and there's nothing wrong. Someone commented and says, after using the old tools, I would sit back too and probably fall asleep, because after a work day using them, you're going to be give out. Actually, they're not really that bad. I do swing that wooden mallet a lot with those chisels, but just about no other way to do that. I did use a router on the cabin, but it was really messy. I got really dusty, and you know, that square chisel and that 1.5 inch straight chisel, it doesn't take that long to dig a mortise out. I was actually surprised. I'm kind of learning a technique on doing that, and so you know, I'm having fun doing it by hand. So I think that I'm going to stick with that. Someone else also commented and said that I've actually had several comments saying that I should take and put a water tote up in that tower and gravity feed the water. Well, I'm actually going to put it in the ground. I don't want anything above ground, because when a tree falls, if it smashes the water tote, then I've got a tidal wave coming down the hill, because everything would be up above it, right, if it's gravity fed. So it's actually going to go in the ground. That way, if a tree does fall, it's not going to fall on the tote itself. And the design of that tower, I don't think would actually hold one of these large totes. You know, the 250 gallons times about almost 9 pounds, that is a lot of weight, and I don't think that that tower is going to support that. It wasn't built for that. It wasn't intended for that. It was just intended to house or support the satellite and then my cell gain device that I've got up there. Other than because I didn't want to cut down a bunch of trees up here, so I don't think that, you know, putting a tote up there would be a good idea. Well guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. We certainly do appreciate you stopping by. If you're new to this channel, be sure to go check out our main channel, Smoky Mountain Outpost. That's where we do all the building. Guys, we hope each and every one of you have a fantastic day. Congratulations to the winners. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.